yeah, for everybody watching, I mean, I don't need to do a fancy intro. We're starting in the middle of a series. This is Probe versus Mercury from a couple days ago, and this is game 3. Let's go. Yeah.
Game 3, let's go. You. I heard the first two were quite the doozy.
Yeah, they were pretty crazy. I mean, I was actually impressed at the level of play involved, especially from Mercury. Oh my gosh. I mean, I think he died about 20 minutes into the first game and then stayed alive by sheer micro for 5 minutes.
Sheer micro for 5? What?
He like maximized the efficiency of his units for an incredibly long time. If his opponent hadn't been around the same level, they would have probably fallen apart trying to kill him.
That's insane.
Yeah, I was a little like, I was thinking, geez, this you never really see this happen much.
No, I mean
higher levels.
Exactly, he's already scary in the first place. I mean, I can't even imagine that.
But of course, at this point, you know, they've essentially played for an hour and a half. I don't think they took a break or anything. So, there we go. I don't. So it's entirely possible at this point. You know, they're getting a little bit more tired. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to rush things from here. So we'll have to see what happens. Anyway, in the bottom right part of the map, we have our Zerg player from Vic Boy. It is Pro. Currently tied 1-1.
And at the top left corner of the map, his opponent spawning as the blue Protoss player. It is Mercury. Alright, so, as you were saying earlier, I think you have something to tell me about the PTR.
Oh, lots of stuff, dude. So much stuff. Have you ever felt like Heroes has too many stuns in it?
Yes.
That's actually true.
Uh-huh.
That's via a bug. Every single push ability or drag ability in the game is not supposed to stun people.
That's been a bug?
Yeah, it's not supposed to happen.
We've lived with that for so long.
So it's been adjusted. They added another status effect to the game, or rather they expanded it, called Daze. And what Daze means is you can't move, but you aren't stunned. So stuff like Brightwing's push ultimate, for example, will no longer cancel Vala's spin move. It will just push her away.
Oh, no.
That means that every single channeled ability in the game has gotten a massive buff, because, like, even just something as simple as Tychus's Grenade doesn't cancel anything anymore.
Or
Rainer's Cube doesn't cancel anything anymore.
Triple tap. Oh, no.
Well, yeah, triple tap is a lot more effective
now. It may be viable. Oh, no. Oh, God.
But there's a lot more than just that. I actually got the feeling so far, at least from my games, it feels a little better. Like, just their overall set of changes. I'm pretty excited to see where it goes. Well, Mercury's not making any... Geez, he's not hiding anything about what he wants to do here. He's pretty much just said, no, I know you're going to try and expand. I've already put down a forge. And oh, but there's a spawning pool this time, so I wonder if he's going to go through with it.
No secrets here. Pylon going down right next to the mineral line. And yeah, sure enough, cannon. Probe moves away the Overlord.
Cannon plus a gateway. So he's basically trying to put extra health on that, so he can't just put his base here. I have a feeling that Probe will probably see this and just expand to his third. But he may not do that, though. There's another possibility, of course, and that's just that he walks across the map and tries to attack the base. By then, Mercury, though, he'll be able to see that coming. He'll throw down the cannon, and he can probably stabilize against it. But things can get icky from there. And it looks like he wants to try and chomp down the pylon before it can get out, but that's not going to happen. Cannon finishes. It's going to chomp away at all of the Zerglings. Will they get it? Oh.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
Sort of.
The probe isn't going to... Wow. This seems like a massive overcommitment to me, honestly.
Probe's down to 5 HP. One more link. Nope. Nope, shields are coming back. Too late.
And yeah, now he can't stop the pylons from going up, but, like, it's not like this actually cuts off the ramp.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like something about this is exploitable if you know what's happening. Like, maybe a roach attack or something, but I guess maybe Probe doesn't know the exact timing, so... I guess it's gonna be... this is gonna secure Mercury and Natural.
Yeah, definitely. And Probe's just gonna take his lings across the map too. Make sure that make sure that there's no wall, but the wall is up by the time he's gonna get there. So.
Yeah, and he's got 3 lings on this Probe now. Speed's actually just about to finish, and as soon as that does, this is no longer gonna be an issue. And oh, just gonna let the probe live. That's dangerous because now he might put a forward cannon
Uh-oh.
next to the gas, and he can cut off movement there. Never mind.
Oh, probe runs back to the two the two cannons. Two cannon shots kills it.
And probe kills the probe. Yay! Now he's gonna work on the. No, he's gonna second guess himself a bunch of times and lose all his links. Okay.
Oh,
Brutal.
bad. Oh man, losing so many links here to the cannons. He's got a roach warren on the way, so you know he's eventually gonna shut this down. But you don't want to throw away those early units.
No, I have a feling that was accidental. He probably just was trying to move them a little bit further up the ramp, but they were in attack radius and decided to do that on their own. That doesn't really matter. In any case, I mean, it's not going to be a deciding factor in this game. Frustrating, but he'll live.
Indeed, indeed. That is a very, very blue cybernetic score.
Yeah, that's an interesting graphical bug.
Blue than normal.
I wasn't going to comment on it, but since we're both seeing it,
it looks like somebody threw up glitter all over it.
Interesting. I wonder if like any of those updates to NVIDIA with all the games coming out broke something.
Totally possible. Totally possible. What do you think Mercury's plan is from here? He's got an expansion. He's got a nice wall off going on. He's getting a sentry.
Well, so far he hasn't gone into like crazy gateway attacks or anything. He's actually just gone up into Colossi and played the game out pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I'm expecting him to do. The real question I feel on Probe's end is what he's going to do, because he's kind of missed the timing to keep up with the expansion properly as a Zerg player. He's going to have to expand again pretty soon in any case, and keeping these here is becoming increasingly dangerous because eventually Warp Gate's going to finish, and now these are forward pylons. So with cannons defending them, So I expect to see him focus on cleaning this out and then kind of pushing forward the economy, but he's not going to be able to get the nice advantage in that respect that I think a Zerg can get to in most cases. On the other hand, though, Mercury is also slowed down a little bit just because of how much he had to invest in that initial attack and this wall, even. Double cannons, totally sealed.
He does have a forward pylon, though, as you said, and once Warp Tech finishes, he's going to effectively have 4 gates as long as Probe doesn't take care of that. I mean, the roaches are coming out. He's going to get +1/+1. He's got missiles on the way, missile attacks, and I don't know. It's going to take him a minute, but
Mercury also does physically outpace his economy, and I'm not sure if Probe is 100% realized that this is happening, but he's just pushing straight up into workers at this point. Already at 41 workers versus the 30 of Probe, so his focus on army units isn't necessarily bad to clean this up, but we have to actually get in Mercury's face, maybe make it harder for him to get that third, or else this could be kind of problematic in the long run. Oh, it's turning into a warp gate.
Oof.
We didn't forget about it.
Nope. And, you know, he's going to want to scout this Twilight Council, too, because this could potentially be Dark Templar, things like that. I mean, Zealot leg speed's pretty good against...
Here we go.
Roaches poking in. Going to try and safely take care of this pylon. Not working.
Okay, you're going to use the Lynx to tank for the Roaches. And he's going to take out the pylons, just focus them down.
Oh, forward warp in.
This strikes me as a little bit wasteful.
Ooh.
But okay. Maybe he was hoping he could defend that and he just didn't react quick enough.
No, not quite quick enough. The pylon went down, all these buildings were depowered, and now he's going to lose 300 minerals, effectively.
Yep.
Quite hell, more than 300.
Yeah, new forward pylon is down here at the potential 4th, 5th base. And a little bit further out, obviously, than he would like, but, you know, he'll live with it. And I'm not sure I like Probe necessarily building that in his face, because he just kind of declared, this is what I'm doing right now. But, you know, whatever, it works. Upgrades are pretty much as you would expect as well right now. So, looks like things are just going to go from here, except massive amount of gateways and blink on the way. So, all-in time coming.
Anyways, he's actually going to suicide one of these to get out. Pretty scared of that early link push, and he should have been. That counterattack would have been brutal.
You know, Mercury really doesn't need to do that. I wonder if he forgot he can break those rocks. Like, those rocks are actually superior to they're inferior to a building because they don't regen their shields.
Oh crap!
I mean, I guess it's fine. It doesn't really matter in the long run, but like he built an extra gateway and everything. I mean, it's not a common feature on any of the maps, so I guess it could happen.
Well, I mean, 150 minerals is 150 minerals. That could come in handy. I mean, if Probe were to push right now or something funny like that.
I guess he would have had to. No, yeah, never mind. It's probably just a simple oversight. Maybe it's something he's used to doing on other maps. Anyway, Pylon's been discovered. This is extremely frustrating for Mercury. If Probe gets up there and kills it. Probe, notice. Probe!
No,
Oh
no, no, no,
god,
no.
Probe.
He's getting stalkers on him out of his vision.
Yeah, he's going to keep that now because he's going to get units down to actually defend it.
Our forces are under attack. But... Yep, now we have an effective reinforced point. Stalker's going to take down these rocks, and Roach's poised to defend, but I don't think these are enough Roaches for these.
I'm taking notes on this positioning right here because I love the use of the rocks like that. It's difficult for the army to run up and stop you from protecting the pylon.
Oh yeah,
like that.
this is absolutely amazing for Mercury. I mean, it's very scary for Probe. He's got this base that's undefended here.
Yeah. Doesn't have what he needs to hold this, and he knows it. He's pulling his workers out. He's going to try and keep them alive, sack the base, try and build up defenses. Hopefully with that rally point so he doesn't keep killing his wings. Good, he did that.
Yep, so many stalkers here. It only took about 5 or 6 shots to take down that hatchery. 2 shot the queen. Oh man. Pulled the drones. Ready for the defense. Mercury checking for a 3rd or 4th base up there and hallucinating some Archons to top all this off. Nice layer of icing.
It's not bad. I mean, as long as he still has enough energy for a Guardian Shield, so yeah, it works out pretty well. Yeah, they'll take a few hits, as you can see there, that one actually going down already. So keeping everything else alive for a little bit. A few Lings coming in on the backside. Not 100% comfortable for the Protoss, even bringing the drones into the fray. I think, yeah, the micro here so far has just been very, very good from Mercury, keeping all of his Stalkers from dipping down into the damaged health range, and it's just too much power. There's not enough defenses for this.
Can easily snipe down this this hatchery, actually focusing down those small number of Roaches that try to defend, and Probe's hurting. There's it's hard to come back from this. Losing all of his drones, all of his Roaches. He's effectively reset to one base. And,
I mean, and without some kind of... without surprise tech, I'm not even sure with any kind of... I'm not even sure if there's anything you can do to come back in this situation. Anything at all. I mean, if they didn't shoot up, i.e. if this was like Legacy of the Void and they were making an adept attack and you could somehow get to something like Broodlords, yeah, that would maybe, but...
no.
Like that's just, he got hit with the timing that perfectly exploited having the hatch canceled in that way.
Yeah, a little dicey, base undefended too. I mean, there's only so much you can do. He was stalled for quite a while there. He couldn't take his natural base and stuff. Kind of a nightmare.
Would have helped a bit if he could have taken out the forward pylon. I'm not sure if it would have been enough, but there's always something you can do to any gateway attack. It always seems to blunt it a bunch.
Oh, anyway, it's time for game 4. Yeah, game 4. Game form. Got a sign here and we'll copy it in
official. Official. I'm gonna switch to. I'm trying to find a nice colored name tag here. I want to get off the gold. I've had gold for 2 years.
Well, now that you have turbo, you can get that. You can just have that color slider.
Yeah, the color slider. I went through the color slider, but it ended up looking like one of the ones on the palette anyway. So.
Oh yeah.
Here, let's go with the teal here. Why not?
Hey, whatever works.
Fear me. There we go. All right, moving into game 4. This one's on Vani, PVZ. So they have potential for airplay here, especially looking at Mutalisks or Phoenixes. I love watching Protoss Phoenixes. Mercury's very, very good at micro.
Yeah, I was actually talking about that with a friend who wanted to learn basically how to play StarCraft, and yeah, I was like, yeah, there's this common build with Phoenixes. Good luck executing it. But gave him a robo build instead. Anyway, in the bottom of the map we have our Zerg player currently behind 1 game. It is Probe from Big Boy.
Probe. And his opponent spawning in the center top half of the map, the blue Protoss player. Taking the last map up to 1, it is Mercury. Heart vanilla, yo. I like vanilla too. I don't think that's what he's talking about.
Well, it might have been actually, because they were like answering... They were trying to like answer the questions as if the interview happened in one of the other games, which I gotta say that was kind of cool actually. I appreciated that.
Interesting.
And cool, and get all the personality information out of the players, despite the fact that there was no interview.
There's a good way to
Nice.
do it. Have them sacrifice their APM at the beginning of the game. This is what you get for not being here on time.
Now that didn't happen.
Your punishment.
That wasn't really their fault that time. And to be honest, I think that this might have just been something they agreed to do because of the way the times worked out, if I remember right. I mean, this always happens sometimes with EU players. They all want that early Saturday slot.
Oh, yeah.
But there's too many of them now. So it's usually someone loses out and ends up playing by replays.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. We got a lot of EU friends, especially Manbon, the guy that casted, what was it, the second game from yesterday?
Yeah, he's the kind of person that doesn't run out of energy until 3 in the morning somehow.
Oh man,
he works.
he rocket propels forward and then fizzles out pretty fast.
Yeah,
he's got a lot of acceleration, not a whole lot of sustain.
2 probes running out onto the map. Mercury's trying to skirt the edge, and it looks like he wants to try and go for a cancel on this map. And there's a Overlord watching for this. He's going to see him in the base. And yeah, Probe's already got a spawning pool going down. He sees him actually trying to go for this again. But this time, he's just going to put the base down in his face.
He just builds the hatchery. There's a pylon coming down. Little does he know there's a forge back home for Mercury, so this could be easily followed by a cannon. Put a dent in his day.
In fact, it will be. As a matter of fact, Mercury has used this build on him every single game.
Every single game
they've ever played together.
That is
the hatchery
scary.
has already been built at the other base. Mercury isn't checking it yet, which is a little surprising. 4 Lings are going to come down, though, and they're going to set up on the side of this base to watch for an attack. It's not coming, so he delayed the base by a little bit, but I don't think this ended up being all too significant, really.
Not a whole lot. You know, you use the same hand every game. It tends to be predicted.
Nice.
Oh, there we go. Good
He's
stuff.
trying to pull this off. He doesn't have enough.
Yeah,
Probe goes down. Another one is there. He's going to try and continue it.
Wow.
And I think this might be too late, because I think he's going to just have more Ling's defenses out in time to actually really prevent this from getting out of hand.
Yep, and he lost 100 minerals there. Did not cancel that pylon.
A little bit of an error. The probe gets shut down, and that's the end of this cannon rush. It will not be completed. If you can kill the probe before the first cannon kind of really completes itself, then you can actually focus on taking out the buildings and all that stuff people talk about, having 4 workers on pylons and whatnot. Then that actually matters. If the probe's still alive, he can just build buildings in a correct way and always defend it.
Yeah, there's a futile attempt there to mineral rock, and he decided after his failed rush, he's just going to expand behind. Probably very smart, since the Zerg is also expanded.
Yeah, he pretty much needs to do this. He's a little bit behind no matter what. I mean, you'll even notice if you look down at the supply now. That didn't really happen last game. Now there's a big gap, because all those Lings didn't die.
Oh yeah, huge gap. Probe, good control there, keeping his Lings alive, making sure to focus down the pylons before they dropped.
Mercury does force an irritating expansion, though, as there is a cannon here with a couple pylons, so he won't be able to actually clear that out for a little while at his original natural. That doesn't mean that he won't just be like, fine, and then take the gold, though, so if he can gain any kind of advantage. Likewise, though, the wall off for Mercury is very easy, so a cannon rush on this map actually makes a lot of sense. It might slow down the buildings back home, but they're going to go up in time to stop something like this.
Definitely pretty easy. Cannon coming down, powered up, and Lings are not going to be able to do much.
Oh, got another ninja probe hanging out down here.
Ooh.
Wonder if he's going to do anything. Like cannon rush the next attempt at a base.
Where's the ninja probe?
Oh, he's at the.
Oh, there he is. Oh,
I
there's
can
one
do
there
that.
too.
I can actually do that because it's not live. I don't think they can see it if it's live, right? I can't remember. They can sometimes.
Nope.
They might be if we're referees. They might be.
Oh, that might be it. There we go.
And yeah, there's another probe on the other side of the map. So he's spreading these guys out. He wants to make sure that he gets this pylon down for what I assume is an attack coming. He's got a Stargate popping up. Interesting.
He doesn't have a whole lot of gas. I mean, you're going Stargate, you know, mid-game like this. You're probably going to want 2 more gases at your natural. You're going to choke out real fast unless you're just planning something quick with cheese. You're just going to drop an Oracle in there, see if you can kill off some workers. But, you know, one base gas is not going to sustain something like that. Tech-heavy.
Yeah, his setup does imply that. I think you're exactly right. And he's picking up them now, but this is so much later than you would normally do it. This has got to be support for something else, I think.
Yep. Not a whole lot of gas in the pool right now. I don't think they're going to be seeing a huge Stargate push.
Roach is coming down to clean this up. I think it should go a lot better than it did last time.
Oh yeah, easy. There's only one cannon.
Though, I don't like the fact that he's not just focusing down the cannon. It would have died by now.
Well,
Instead, he's taking a lot of damage on his roaches. I mean, it works out. Now he's doing it. Yeah, you can see that. Just
there we go. That would have gone a little faster.
He kept everything alive. If he had lost something, that might have been a relevant statement, but it didn't matter. So, yay.
He also effectively supply blocked Mercury because he did not compensate for his his pylons across the map there.
Yeah, looks like there was a pause there. Yeah, this, by the way, he is going for Phoenixes, and I think it might have not been so much that the gases were late as much as that his base was later. Like the actual Stargate itself. So this Stargate, like the Phoenix hit, is coming at a later time. Okay. And if he has spores already built into his like bases by the time he needs to get there, they won't do... Yeah, and he does. They won't do a huge amount of damage, but they can still be really irritating. They can fly around, pick up queens, destroy larvae real easily, pick off a couple edge drones, kill any overlords that aren't smart enough to come back to base, put the Zerg in the dark. Basically, if you can control the Phoenixes well, they're really, really, really unbelievably powerful for the Protoss.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this could have hit much earlier if the cannon rush hadn't happened. But you know, Mercury, he's got to do that to the Zerg. He loves doing that. I think he spoke about that in an interview too. He does that against every Zerg player.
He believes that hatch first is too greedy, and he's going to exploit it if he sees the opportunity. To which I say, I understand that because I Nexus first. So I think it's too greedy, so I'd be greedy as well. We both kind of came to the same conclusion. We exploit it in a different fashion.
There we go. Queen moving in to try and defend here, going to get picked up, and nothing can be done about it.
Nope. I mean, he's got an Overseer that's expensive and going to die right away. That's really unfortunate. Well, Lings and Roaches did find the proxy pylon here in the top left. There's still the other probe on the right side of the map, though. And he's going to pick up another Queen. It's really putting Probe in an awkward position. Also, Mercury becoming a little bit supply blocked thanks to that pylon going down. As you can see, this is the awful part of going for Phoenixes, where you have to stop in the middle of the enemy's base, well, except some more defenses because you had to fix something back home, and that's how you lose everything. Which is why it's good for the go for the queens like that if you can't go for drones right away.
I mean, losing those proxy pylons is brutal too, and you're getting into aggression. You don't want to be worrying about your supply back home, all that fun stuff. But he's picked him up again. He's running them around the base, keeping the shields up on them. A lot of spore crawlers now.
Yep. Pick up one probe, kill something else. One drone, kill something else. And it's like, you can see he's bouncing around, and like, this isn't doing fatal damage in the way that it might, say, if he caught him without the spore crawlers. But it is just being extremely annoying to the Zerg, and it is slowing him down. Meanwhile, the probe's response has been to basically come up into his base and kill a Cybercore. Ouch.
Ouch.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, big ouch.
Very frustrating. He is building a lot of Void Rays, though, so I think he'll be fine.
That's super painful to Protoss. Cybernetics core is like the staple of every tech you could ever get. Reconstructing it now away from the wall, but these sentries don't have any energy. These roaches are going to move up. Blocked in by zealots.
Okay, he's not paying attention with the Phoenixes, so I was going to say if he does, then this is his only chance to do something about the Hydra numbers, which, by the way, if they get any higher, these 4 Void Rays won't mean a ton.
Nope, definitely going to hurt. Definitely going to hurt.
But at their numbers right now, though, he can lift 4 of the Hydras, and the Void Rays will actually DPS everything down. Oh no, but he gets there before the Void Rays! One is about to go down to them, take really bad damage, but he keeps them alive. Now he's between a rock and a hard place, still hasn't lost anything, which is really lucky, actually. That's very, very frightening.
Take him home, take him home.
And yeah, he's just going to take off. And now that Probe has seen the direction that he's going in, he can sculpt the rest of his composition around that, which it looks like so far is mostly just Hydras, but he is picking up an infestation. And it might be good to actually grabbing a couple infestors in this situation. The fungal growth is extremely powerful on Phoenixes in particular, and it helps out with Void Rays as well.
Oh yeah, Fungal's amazing on Void Rays. They have low amount of shields and health. I mean, they're glass cannons. They do a lot of damage, but they can be easily killed. They're weak to Hydras, actually. They have a damage bonus.
This move out here is kind of an interesting statement from Probe. He's saying, you know, I don't think you can fight me right now, and you are trying to build a base. I think you are overextending. I'm going to punish you for that. So that's what he's trying to do here. He's walking forward. He's found the Zealots, which,
oh dear,
the natural enemy is essentially the Hydras, so they die immediately. This that goes down really, really quickly. We have a bunch of Hydras in play. There's not a lot of lifts going on. They got a lot of damage in before that even became an issue. The Hydras are basically cleaning everything up. Void Ray, the Void Ray super beams don't mean anything to Hydras, which is why most of them are still alive. And he's going to get the space.
Easily going to take this Nexus. Canceled just in time, but there's so many Hydras here, and Mercury is still pushing into Stargate Tech. He really wants these Void Rays, but it's not going to happen. Not with this Hydra group here. Waiting at the bottom.
He's got a few force fields up here, so he can survive for a little bit if Probe tries to walk up the map, walk up the ramp. But it actually doesn't look like just yet that he has any intentions of doing that. In fact, he's grabbing a Night Swarm. Really? Okay.
Nidus Network. He does have an Overlord here on this side of the map, looking at the natural base of Mercury, so anytime.
You know, I thought this might be the case. Yeah, oh, this is brilliant. This spot right here, Mercury can't see it.
Oh, yeah, very small spot.
And I don't know, well, if Probe does it to the right, then that's not going to work. But if he scoots up a little bit, puts that Nidus Swarm right there, there's a very decent chance that it won't get picked up on, and Mercury's making a carrier or two.
Making 2 carriers.
This is a huge investment. It's going to shut down his Stargate production for a while because the things take forever to build, and they're not particularly great against what's in the game, but he's getting stormed. That is good against what's in the game.
Well, I mean, if you can land money storms on these Hydralisks that just duck themselves into the Nidus.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. If Probe had been building this over at the ramp,
Mercury's not watching.
Would have better odds, but yeah, he's not noticing.
No.
Yeah, he sees it now, but it's a little too late. Now the Hydras are going to start pouring out, and they are going to start actually getting some kills, and he's just building a second one behind that. He's got to unload some stuff.
Why isn't up?
I guess maybe, I wonder if he physically can't unload things if they surround it.
Oh my god, no way, he says. Oh, his game tabbed out while he was playing. No! He couldn't unload the Nidus.
That's too bad. Though, to be honest, in any case, he could have, again, since he put it there, odds were high that he would see it. I mean, Mercury does actually keep his eyeballs up.
Phew, he says. Phew.
Yeah. Okay, putting in the low ground, I like this. I feel like this is the sort of thing that, at least in very late game scenarios, we should see more Zergs do, because it gives you a proxy pylon.
Yep, definitely okay. And you can draw more than one. So if he had an Overlord on the other side of the map, he could split push effectively with 2 different armies. But carriers, there are a lot of Zealots in this army now too. Actually, we're not looking at leg speed, so it might be good for the Hydras. But
fun thing for anybody, by the way, anytime you're playing this. Like you're watching replays and a Nidus Worm is used, make a mental note of when the Nidus Worm pops up and then switch to the Protoss player's camera the instant it appears. He like flips out and starts checking everywhere.
Oh man, so many Hydras moving up here. Interceptors flying over and instantly dying. Nidus Worm
now he's going to put one in the base. I love this. He's forcing his eyeballs over to here, while simultaneously putting a gateway in for some ground units. In fact, I don't know if I like trying to put them all in there, but I guess it works. In fact, he's just going to pop up into his base, and this time the probes aren't there in time. They're trying to stop it, but he's got a small contingent force already in there, and there's another exit point for the rest of them. In fact, he's got it more or less protected. There's not a lot of Hydras out, though. With the Void Ray population being what it is, he can actually do a number on this force before the rest of the stuff kind of respawns. Or not. Holy crap. Upgrades. He doesn't have any upgrades for air, does he?
He's got +2 attack, +1
he does
space.
have.
But
Yes, he does.
these Hydras, though, Hydras are so crazy, and they just keep pouring out of this Nidus Worm.
The Hydras are a little bit better upgraded, and yeah, they're also just better equipped to deal with that army. I think they start to have a little bit harder time if there's a decent Tempest force, because they can engage from so far away. But against this composition, decently equipped. Oh, he can't dodge the storms, though. That's going to hurt.
Oh my gosh. Super scary here for Mercury. I mean, he's down a couple bases. This is all he's got here.
But this is a really bizarre situation for the Protoss, though, because the Zerg essentially does not have to worry about your defender's advantage at all, because he's just popping out more units. You can even see that here. The fight's going on way longer than it ordinarily would. Say if this were done by a drop, or if Nidus Swarm was killed at the beginning of the fight.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just not ending. There's more and more Hydras slowly killing everything.
Yep, he's rallied them into the Nidus Swarm, I'm pretty sure, because he just keeps throwing them out here as they die. Second Nidus Swarm coming in.
Not sure. Okay.
Wow. Just
Maybe I guess it gets stuff out faster that way.
waterfall of Hydras.
Yeah, carriers don't work at all. And to be honest, in this situation, you can even see that. There was, like, the best possible engagement for the carriers, because he didn't focus them down. But, yeah, the interceptors were not enough. Fish all got obliterated. So nice, Probe brings it back. It's 2-2.
Yeah, not bad. Tied up now, essentially best of one. Hydra's good against Stargate, guys, remember that. If you're Terran. Built Hydras.
Don't you mean Marines?
I mean Marines.
I remember back in Wings, the best Zerg unit was the Marine.
Yeah, the best Zerg unit was the Marine, actually. They did so much damage, and they did not cost anything at all, really.
You would just get a bunch of Lings and Infestors, and then spam out the infested Terrans, and they got all the upgrades with the rest of the ground army.
Oh, they were so ridiculous. You could build so many upgrades out of those things, and eventually they just nerfed the crap out of them. They didn't take any upgrades anymore.
Nope. Don't take any upgrades. They die super quick, and nobody does that strategy anymore. However, there's still, like, you can still technically use them for drops, so it's not like that has changed. But, you know, it's not as effective an investment as it once was.
Easily. All right. Spawning us here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. Yellow Zerg player taking game 3. No, 4. 4. I can count. Math on stream. All it rules. It's Probe. It's 2-2 now.
In the top right of the map, we have Mercury.
Mercury. Map hacker, how did you know?
So, yeah, like, this is an interesting thing I've been thinking about a lot lately, just like that stuff with drops and Zerg. You never really see it, and I think that's, to be fair, it's too much of an investment. Like, the cost is a little bit too expensive. And I really love the solution that they have to that in Legacy of the Void, or that they're testing right now, which is to make Overlord drop an upgrade from Overlords, kind of like the way Banelings are an upgrade from Zerglings. You know, you don't get the Baneling upgrade and all your Lings turn into Banelings.
Oh, interesting.
So they basically, you reduce the cost and you put on individual Overlords, and then you can have, like, drop timings.
Huh, well, that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, it'll change search strategies. Basically, everyone is becoming Terran. And I'm kind of okay with that, because this part of Terran is really cool.
Yeah, I think Blizzard looked at the Terran drops and went, hey, why can't we do that? So they gave Protoss drop range.
Yeah, they gave us drop range, and then they gave us Adepts, which are good units to drop with Warp Prisms in the early game. And then you have... by the way, that drop range on the Warp Prism, I've seen some pretty absurd stuff with it. Like, you can park it over an army, and then use it to blink all of your units.
Wow. That's
it's a little silly,
kind of
but
ridiculous.
It requires absurd micro, though.
Yeah,
it's way harder to do than blinking. Oh my gosh.
Exactly, you'd have to click the unit in there, and then you'd have to click on load, and then you'd have to click out, and then you'd have to click the next guy. Insane.
Yeah, usually people just limit it to, oh my goodness, Mercury is not even going to wait for him to put anything up. He's just like, nope, you're not taking this spot.
She's sticking a claim already. Yeah, drone's coming down, gonna try and stop this from happening, but it's not gonna stop.
Yeah, and he's going for the pylon. Yeah, nice move. Surrounds it, tries to go for the mineral rock, gets it away. Waiting for him to basically try and go back at the workers. The thing is, there's too many buildings. This is gonna always complete. Like, the 4-worker response to the initial pylon does not really work if the cannon rushing player knows what he's doing. Ugh.
Cannon going down, the cancer is starting to spread now. Photon cannons. Overlord just out of range. Lings getting baited into trying to attack the probe. I don't necessarily agree with that there.
No, it actually might have been more productive to send them across the map right now, because there is nothing defending Mercury's attempt to build this wall. And that would probably be just as productive, really. But you know what? It doesn't matter. This is the kind of thing that like a Korean player knows inside and out. Like reason you don't see this kind of stuff like necessarily end games as much and stuff like GSL is because people have worked on this to the point where, okay, cool, you built 3 buildings. That means I know exactly you have a 10-second window to get 5 Zerglings in your base and equalize all the damage.
Yep, pro players are very silly. They are very good at what they do. They play this game hours on end every single day. And probe
dies because it goes on the creep. Okay.
Bad place for a Protoss to be.
Yep. No, I mean, and this is frustrating. Probe, it looks like... I wonder if he's just going to go for... Yeah, he's just going for an all-in. He's picking up roaches. He's going to lair. He's going to get speed, more lings, and just go for a big attack rather than expanding. Now, a problem, unfortunately, for Mercury is that he doesn't have complete vision, I think. Does he have complete vision of the ramp? No.
Nope.
There's a tiny spot where technically a drone can slip out. So he has to move around the map and check manually for a third. He's got one watching this location, and he's just checked the other location with this probe. And you can see the reason... He's got 3 probes scouting right now, and the reason that he needs to do this is because he needs to know if there's a base going up between 4 minutes and 5 minutes. If there isn't one, it means that the Zerg isn't trying to catch up. He's trying to kill you.
Yeah, but that's a good point
Sooner.
to make. I mean...
Rather than later, because he was going to do that anyway.
If Probe timed it properly, though, he could take a base here at Mercury's third. He's not patrolling there. He moved the probe away that was watching the rocks. I mean, that's plenty of room for a hatchery.
Well, yeah. It's just, oh.
Wow.
No,
Straight to Nidus.
These Nidus swarms have been okay, but they've always been in the vision of the Protoss, and as a result, they're, like, just... It's not working. Like, that's going to get canceled. So, he's not going to cancel it. Okay, nope. He's just going to lose 100 minerals, I guess. Okay. He might go for that again, but at this point...
Yeah,
no,
now...
he's just going to claim his face out.
Well, the element of surprise now is... It's gone. I mean, that would have been perfect if he had placed that. I don't know, down near the rocks, started breaking the rocks or something where Mercury wasn't really looking, but it's kind of cheeky trying to throw the Nidus worm there in your natural.
Yeah, the thing is, that wasn't... Yeah, doing it in the natural, like, in full vision of the probes, if he was paying any attention, would never work. But yeah, you're right, like, going for those rocks down there. That would have some chance. He'd probably be able to hear it. I'm not... Yeah, and now he's got to do this. This is just a forward pylon now, which is fine. That might work. There isn't really a lot of defenses here. Like, we have, what, 1 sentry, which will help out a little bit if he's got good force field micro.
That should be pretty good, but the rush distance has effectively been turned to 0. He can rally his units into the Nidus worm, just unload them as they finish constructing. Ooh, no warp tech yet, so reinforcement's going to be a pain in the ass here for Mercury.
So what's the plan here? It looks like he wants to focus down the cannon. No force fields just yet. There they come. Gets the cannon, though. And from here, he's going to go straight for the cybernetic score. And this is an extremely frustrating problem for Mercury. If that goes down, he not only loses warp gate, but he will lose his ability to make other ranged units that can actually assist in this fight. So which is why you can see he knows he's going to lose it, so he's throwing down another cybernetic score. And he's trying to get stalkers pre-built. Boom. No upgrade. That's frustrating. That means his units will come out slower during these intervening fights.
Yep, knowing this is a roach attack too, he's pushing straight for an immortal, chrono boosting that out. Probes surrounding these roaches, but takes so much damage to the economy here.
Yeah, I mean, he really is just trying to buy time to get this immortal out, and so far he's been able to do that. He did lose a few workers, and he has roaches back here preventing him from mining, and now they're killing more workers. And no, I think he sent him back to work a little early. This is becoming actually a pretty profitable attack for Probe. Not quite what he needs, though, as that expansion is still very new. He needs a lot more damage than this. Only half a base's worth of workers. If he could have gotten a full base's worth of workers, we're in a much more comfortable situation. But it's not over yet. He sells this forward Nidus Swarm they can use for a later attack.
Oh yeah, and I mean
that has been discovered.
Yeah, he just found it now, so he knows where that is. You push 1 or 2 zealots out here. Probe doesn't pay quite a lot of attention. The zealots can easily take care of that. Ooh, roaches picked off the probe.
Yeah.
Gonna move
so
up.
Now at this point, Mercury's trying to see what's his follow-up. He went for an all-in. It didn't 100% work. we can see that, yeah, he did make 4 more roaches, but is he trying to do anything else? Is he trying to grab an extra hatchery? Is he going for some kind of tech? And the easiest one of those questions to answer is the extra hatcheries. So he's run around with the probe, he's checked the expansions, he's got this pylon down at the space, which I think was supposed to have a hatchery on it, but this drone's just kind of hanging out. Unfortunate.
Yep, running it on autopilot there. I think you heard the error.
Yeah, or he just hasn't gotten around to dealing with it yet. I think we should see some roaches file down here pretty soon. But yeah, I think he just didn't notice. He doesn't have. He has lings that could be dealing with it. Just haven't gone down there.
Yep, Mercury expanding to his third location. Gonna take down these rocks, kind of bridge the gap here. Probably best to get it before the Zerg does. And here we go. It's gonna be a little tight on supply after this pylon goes down.
Yep. Mercury at this point is basically just trying to secure a third, and he's gonna open up the pathway from his main to his third in order to make that a little bit easier to defend. This is an awkward place to fight, though, because of the vision blockers. So you might see that come into play as the game goes on.
Probe's gonna spot this Warp Prism as it comes in. Nope, staying out of vision. Got 2 Immortal
Drop. This is always very powerful, though it's gonna sap away a little bit of Mercury's attention.
The probe doesn't seem to have noticed it yet.
No, he has his units moved out into a forward position because he knows that this hatchery is a little bit vulnerable right now. Okay, Warp Prism is set up. He's going to warp in 6 Zealots. Still just outside of his vision range. And those lings see it, though.
Uh-oh.
Just a brief second. I don't think he picked up on it.
Oh, this is so scary. These Zealots are just waiting to do tons of damage. And there they go. They're going to move straight in for the hatchery. Going to easily get this to cancel. The forces aren't here to defend 100%.
And yeah, he's going to be able to... He might be able to cancel this. Might be able to kill off the Zealots. But we have the Immortal Drop already starting in the main base. There's a Hydra there, but there isn't a lot else to defend. And... oh no... well, yeah, he canceled it and rebuilt the hatchery. So that's going up. But now we have the Roaches are coming back to defend up here. They're killing more of the Zealots off. And it looks like the Immortals are trying to focus down the hatchery. And he's going to be able to do that with some nice micro.
Pretty decent micro there, picking up the wounded Immortal there without shields. Oh, he's gonna...
Probe, however, is not being pulled so well, but yeah, I can see what he's trying to do here. You can actually micro the Immortals so that they pop down and fire in between the roach shots so they kind of don't get hit. But as you can see, he's still taking a lot of damage, and it's pretty difficult to pull off. I think it's a little bit worse for, definitely worse for Probe though. He's taking a lot of losses while this is going on.
Easily. He put the drones on A move, and once the Immortals disappear, the drones just stop. They don't do anything. So good confusing micro there, throwing off the AI. A pause right in the middle of the engagement. That's got to be terrible for Probe's state of mind here.
Yeah, it looks like Probe got a little bit distracted in the middle of that as well, and it looks like that's the end of that. He's canceled it and put it back down again. Okay.
Canceled.
Okay.
Yep. That's all he's got to do is drop the Immortals and another cancel.
Oh, just 75 minerals disappearing so fast.
Yeah, this is hurting Probe here. Mercury's got all his bases covered. Zealot's heading north. They know something's fishy. They're gonna find this undefended hatchery. Probe's just trying to take down these rocks in time, but not gonna have enough time.
Nope, and that's probably going to die before they can get there to do anything about it.
Yeah, easy. And I mean, this is 300 minerals lost now. There's no chance to cancel this.
Well, maybe. I mean, every time... oh, no, he's going to start canceling the units. So I was going to say, every time a unit pops out, they seem to be, like, just losing their interest in the hatchery.
Huh.
But
there we go. Immortals flying across the chasm again, moving up into the natural base as the Zealots assault the third location. He's trying to be... yeah. Trying to lead the AI roaches over here. Yep.
Probe's watching this. I think he was aware that this might happen in the middle of that Zealot attack. But now he's using the terrain really well to just bounce up and down. Continue to fight the roaches in circumstances are a little bit unfair for them. But it looks like he finally loses one Immortal, and he's going to lose the second one if he keeps this up. And I think Mercury's just going to take that as a signal to leave. And this is just brutal. Mercury's 6 workers ahead. He has a third mining. He can expand this anytime. Although you'll notice that His army supply is not that far ahead. He has 4,000, 2,000 in resources. Basically, he's done a lot of damage, but he hasn't capitalized on it very well. His APM has been entirely focused in this attack.
You don't want these hydras on top of this warp prism. All the units inside. Sentries and immortals. These are expensive. Oh, floating over the roaches. Roaches following it very closely. 10 HP. 10 HP. Drop those units, man. No, don't go back.
Yeah, he's expecting him to hook around. But Hydra's waiting for him, and it goes down. Now there's an immortal up here, and the workers are like...
Wow. So close, he says. So close. Good pick off by Pro, keeping that one Hydra back. He knew that was going to happen.
Still, valiant and insanely effective attack. However, you know, that actually the majority of Mercury's army is out here at these two bases and can be completely obliterated very easily by Probe. He, what is he doing back home? It looks like we're going into Colossus Tech. Range on the way, along with more Colossi. He's getting +3 attack. Probe has been hanging out at 1-1 for a long time. So it's all the usual upgrades for Roach Hydra. Nothing else besides.
Nothing too crazy. Probe's gonna run over here. He sees these zealots on the creep, gonna kite him backwards. Pick him up.
Yeah, just clean that out. It's a nice nick in Mercury's arm.
Oh yeah, and now Mercury's just using that bank he's got to flood stalkers on the map. These are extremely painful against roaches. So you get stalkers plus the colossi, just the range. You play keep away all day with the Zerg and obliterate his army.
Plus with that single Colossus in here. Actually, he can focus on the Colossus, really. No, this is an awkward place to fight. No, 3 cannons, do not fight that.
Bad idea. Range isn't quite complete, but...
And yeah, he's going to run away. He can't attack into that, and that's really frustrating. He could hit the far side a little bit and go for the natural, but like it's going to be pretty easy for Mercury to respond from there. This is a very solid position that we've seen him take.
Super solid. I mean, he's flooding army units now. He's got enough minerals to do it. Extended thermal lance, 7 seconds out. Probe's hurting. He's trying to get his third up finally, but his opponent's already been on, his third base for a little while.
Bit of a supply block though for Mercury. Gets stuck for a bit. Now he's building Colossi again.
2 on the field now. Extended thermal lance is done. Getting +1 armor for his units. 14 stalkers at once.
This is looking a little bit like the end of Game 2. Probe's pretty much just mineral starved. He hasn't been able to fix that problem in a long time. Mercury isn't having this problem, and he's shooting ahead in the army supply. 110 army supply to 74 right now. And it looks like Probe's going to force an engagement that he's going to wish he didn't start. Yep. Nope, they got blink.
Oh man, Mercury hiding behind the vision blockers there. Probe baited into it, and oh man, I mean, Mercury has to know the commanding position he's in.
Yes, what he doesn't know though, and this is one Probe's one saving grace. Again, it's kind of like a mixture of the entire series, really. We have a cannon rush, we have a ninja base, starving Zerg.
Oh yeah, crazy. These zealots too are going to work on these rocks.
But yeah, the reason that this is unfortunate is because he basically clued Mercury into the idea that his army is way stronger than Probe's right now. So now he's like, cool, I'll just attack you.
Yep, going to move in right on top of the reinforce point.
Nope.
Units pulling together.
Probe split and trying to deal with that, but now it looks like Mercury's going to say, fine, if you're going to defend here, then I'm going to send 6 zealots in. But Probe moves into position to defend against that very, very quickly. Mercury hasn't reacted immediately. Now he's moving in, and he's fighting against the units, which are spread in a decent concave, but there just aren't that many of them. Here comes the rest of them to attack from the left side. Mercury's getting hit from the left and from the right, but it's just not solid enough on any position. Colossus stay alive perfectly, and everything dies.
Yeah, Probe's army too spread out there to actually make anything happen. 3 Colossi marching up the ramp and just... Oh, they have free reign here now.
Yeah. 16 roaches coming out. A lot of them just going to basically move command into the army, though, with the rally point being the way it is. Some of them going to pop out here at the natural. We have a few drones running to the last stand of Mercury. And, I mean, last stand of Mercury. Last stand of Probe's office. Oh, man. And that's GG, well played.
Yep.
Very good series. I have to agree with Probe on that. This was extremely fun. Last few games were kind of normal. So you didn't get to see game 2. And yeah, that game 2, though. I got it. That was so crazy.
Oh, yeah. No, well played by both players. That's pretty good. I mean, Mercury eked it out in the end there. They were fairly even up until you know, the War Prism drop crazy damage there.
And I'm really happy to see this too, because like this is one of those theories that when it was initially set up, I think Mercury was still a little bit ahead of Probe, but you can see that he's really closed the gap quite a bit.
Oh yeah, they're toe to toe now, easily.
So it's very, very fun to watch. And so that does it. Yeah, there's nothing else for us to cast tonight. But we do have lots of people planning matches, so there will be things for this weekend.
Lots of people planning. What do we got on the schedule so far?
Actually, I haven't looked because those emails went out today, so I haven't like taken out the sheet.
Oh, okay.
But what I do is I like write down all the times that people want, and then I cross-reference them to see if there's any conflicts. So I haven't done that yet, so I can't officially say. But
so
I
top
will.
secret information.
But before tonight is over, I will be able to answer that, and it will be in the Skype thing. So
Yay.
you guys will know.
Cool.
But usually I don't like to publish the schedule until Thursday night, just because we usually get a couple last-minute signups. So
yep.
I don't want to have to update like the groups, the day 9 thread, and everything like 6 times, because it's annoying to do that like 4 separate places that many times. But yeah.
So cool, that effectively does it for the stream tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you this weekend for the matches.